Okay, so we start with maybe some onion and maybe some bell pepper here somewhere. We're going to need a tomato. And there we go. Now, what we're going to do is this is not bell pepper. I couldn't find the bell pepper. This is banana pepper of some kind. I think it's the sweet banana pepper, not the hot banana pepper. So I'm going to get the chopping plate out, and the chopping plate is actually the top of an old square ice cream bucket. I'm just going to get a knife, and I'm going to chop some of this onion up, not very much, just a little, and I'm going to chop some of this pepper up, and we'll be right back. So what I did was I took a couple slices off the onion, I chopped the slices, I cut the bell pepper down the center and cut that half into a couple halves and chopped those up right there. Now I sliced the tomato, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ground beef here out of this package, and I'm going to mix this onion and this bell pepper into that ground beef, but only after that I have fried the onion and the pepper in the frying pan. So I'm going to get a frying pan out and place it on the oven, and we're going to add just a little bit of oil, not much oil at all, because when I get done frying the onion and the bell pepper, the oil will be disposed of. I don't need the oil to fry the beef. The beef comes with its own fat. So I'm going to get that warmed up, and I'm going to take and add these onions and pepper to the frying pan. And give that a rinse. Okay, so that's going to fry, and we'll be right back. I did finally find that piece of bell pepper, and I've chopped it into pieces. I'm going to go ahead and add that also to the frying pan with the onion and the banana pepper. So there's also a seasoning I'm going to be adding. This particular seasoning is mesquite, but you cannot use very much of it because it has a very loud, smoky flavor. Okay, we're going to fry that up, and we'll be right back. In the kitchen is a common utensil called a grease can, and the grease can has a kind of like a filter in the top of it, and it goes through the filter and down into the can. And the idea is that you can reuse the oil later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry this onion and banana pepper and bell pepper, and then I'm just going to pour it right into that grease can, and the oil will go down through the hose into the can, and then I can just wipe the pan out, get it ready for the burgers and my onions and and peppers, I can just pour them over and mix it with my burger. We'll be right back. So I removed the onions and bell pepper and banana pepper from the frying pan. I took a paper towel and I just rubbed around the frying pan a little, and it's now ready for burgers. So as you can see here in this grease can, that the oil went down to the bottom of the can. See right there, you can reuse that oil again in the future if you want to. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this ground beef with these toppings here, and we'll be right back. Now there are several choices you can mix with your burger on seasoning, and I'm going with mesquite this time around. You can't use very much because of the smoky flavor. You can use different kinds of seasoning. It's really up to you, and different kinds of seasoning also has different how bold and how loud the seasoning really is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just very lightly add some of this mesquite right there on top of that ground beef, and I'm going to mix this ground beef up with my hands after I wash my hands, and I'm going to pat out some patties, and we'll be right back. So here I have the patties patted out. There are 4 of them, and I have mixed the fried onion, fried bell pepper, and fried banana pepper along with the mesquite seasoning in with the 4 patties. Now I've had this frying pan turned on now for about 2 minutes, and it's turned on high, so it's very hot. And what I like to do is I like to sear the meat. I don't know if you've ever heard of seared steak, but it's basically where the grill is on high, very hot. As soon as you add the meat to the grill, in this case, as soon as you add the meat to the frying pan, it begins searing or frying, cooking on the one side. So I'm going to get a spatula and we'll be right back. One reason I like searing the meat is it gets the meat done really quickly. You're just basically cooking it on high, cooks it really fast. It cooks it thoroughly. And if it was really, really thick, maybe you'd have a problem with it being cooked in the middle, but we're not really thick. So this is going to be done really quickly. I've already flipped them once. I'll probably flip them 2 more times and then remove them from the frying pan. Now, the seasoning I added didn't really contain much sodium, so I'm having to add some salt to the patties. Now, when the patties are done and they're on the buns, ready to eat, the person eating the patties can decide just how much more salt they need. So I've flipped the burgers again twice more, and I have turned the stove off, and now I'm just letting them cool in the frying pan. They'll finish cooking thoroughly as the frying pan cools off. So here I've added slices of tomato, and I've put salt on the tomato. I'm going to go ahead and remove a patty, put it right there, and another patty, and I'm going to put it right there. Okay, and we'll put that top of the bun there, that top of the bun there, and we'll remove this frying pan from the heat as it continues to cool, and there it is. Very delicious. Thanks for watching.